The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Allen off the play fake. And his first look is incomplete. Well, these two teams met earlier in the year in Buffalo with the Bills winning that ball game. So they're looking for the season sweep with a win here in Miami. 2nd and 10. Allen going to throw. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 29 yards, first down. In motion right is Davis. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. 20! And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great play there with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage.
But earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. Waddle the motion man right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
And space tough to come by there as they get maybe a yard to the 37. You look at this Buffalo defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
You're right here.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Achane here, they stay on the ground. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Here's Tua. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And he's not going to get to the marker. And that's a turnover on downs. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
That's it.
On play action, Allen. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? He's having
the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
Ready.
Tua going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. You look at this Buffalo defense, and they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. An ill-advised throw there, and it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On play action, Allen. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Yeah, that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Here's Allen to throw it. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. He got 29 yards that time.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Mitchell, oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Firing quickly is Allen. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bills lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Ready.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
First down, here's Mitchell. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. The 71 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They work now on 2nd and 9. A handoff from Mitchell running left. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing now is Allen. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point up and through. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
All right, come on.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you? I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. 21-0 our score after 1. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To the air, Allen. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Allen. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Here's 2nd and 10. Running left, here's Mitchell.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 16. To throw, it's Allen, eluding the pressure right. And this complete to Mitchell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line.
A shotgun handoff to Mitchell.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes, they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time, he uses quickness to make a play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From midfield, here's Allen. Being chased out left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. operating from the gun. Allen.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Bills continue to pull away here in this first half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 28-0. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Ready.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. Second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Off of play action. Tagovailoa. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
44. Ready.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
They set up the screen. Achane has it.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. This will wind up a loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Well, not good at all. A punt of just 24 yards there.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Now Allen. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now Allen. Flush to his right. Able to... But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long.
Middle. Look out.
Back to throw. Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Go ahead.
And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. That one good for 26 and a first down. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Looking to pass. Tua. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left.
And the ball is knocked out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity missed there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this 3rd quarter. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down, and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big. You're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They'll send the tight end in motion left. From the gun, it's Tua. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright First half is carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
Now a 2nd and 10.
What's that?
Here's Allen. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
What is that?
Allen now looks to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, but that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Go!
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jair Elam makes a pick.
And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this 3rd quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
That went out wide and intercepted. Jacorian Bennett has it.
And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They run over center with Mitchell, and they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Look out!
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
It showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line.
77 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season.
And the Bills have taken a 6-touchdown lead. And that touchdown's going to put him in double digits now for the year. It's his 10th rushing touchdown of the campaign. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
And down to a knee. Well, that's one option.
Second and 11 now. Running right, here's Achane.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Again, it's Achane.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. When they're lined up in the 46 defense like that, running is just going to be a slog.
Especially if you're trying to run it in the middle of the defense. So what you're hoping, get a stalemate against the 3 across the front, and can you get some one-on-one blocks that you can win on the perimeter? To me, that's the best place to carry the football.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
On 3rd down, here's Mitchell.
Well, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night.
Second down and 8. A run straight ahead with Achane.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. So possession goes over here on the punt. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousnness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Look out! Another run with Mitchell. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one.
Bates' kick is good. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
And not willing to risk a return, this ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. The offense on third down tonight, a very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
And they take a knee. And they'll indeed take a knee. The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And they will take a knee here. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bills, their playoff.
Yeah, you better pat me down and pray for peace before you let us in. My jettison is full of carnivores and lettuce men. You pushing positive, then we can be the best of friends. We drink the fire from the fountain and excellence. Open source, open doors like a Trojan horse. No remorse, I make law fact like college course. Making seconds to records, the textures you could never touch the circle I rolled and you overstepped your effort. I'm the shepherd and leopards, I'll pull you back together. You fall apart, I'll build it back but better. I'm a scoundrel with my pen works adventures. My punchlines are too raw for glass jars and dentures. You think you've seen madness? Well, I am the center. I'm only happy in the
mistake. It's damn namaste. And Dalai Lama, cause I'm searching for better days. Tijuana, I'm cutting through this with my switchblade to katanas, cause I've learned something from years ahead hunting. If I got something to say, then I'ma say something. A glutton for all these beatings and fighting for what I'm loving. If the whole world's throwing out sparks, I keep on trucking, yeah. I ain't got time for y'all to get your heads right. I'll find some rope and you can go and hang tight. It's getting dark as midnight. This beat swinging so hard, we in a fist. Tippy toe, watch me dip and roll. Round the corner, run another level, watch my glow. I be switching colors, red, green, and gold. I'm speaking the truth, and now I'm spitting heavy waters on the floor in the booth. Let's go.
Shot now, come heavy water.